And welcome back, Firewood Addicts, to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. Today we're talking about my customer base. Let's go. So the order that you just saw me put in, I didn't do all the filming of me, but just the order that you saw me finish, I guess you could say, is a customer that I had last year, and it's half premium maple right here, 4 racks, premium maple, which is $25 per rack, and then we have 4 racks of mixed softwood and the delivery fee, and then he wants it stacked. So he asked for more wood. I said I don't have like a cord or half cord. I have what I had last year. I didn't have a lot of wood come in this past summer. He said he thought it was fine. So basically, he's getting the same thing that he actually it was back in January. So earlier this year, I had to postpone this delivery because I was in hospital with my son. So he was cool with that. I'm very happy that he was able to be understanding to make sure that it was postponed. But this is one customer that I don't think so. I have several customers, demographics or groups, and I think a lot of channels talk about this, and a lot of them say, oh yeah, I'm selling to people who just want wood to burn. They're burning money. They are wanting to drink beer or beverages in the fire. And that's all fine and dandy. Maybe there's a few channels or people who sell wood just for heating. My niche demographic or customer base is, I think, in my opinion, a little different. This customer here, I don't think that money is a factor, and I could be wrong. And if the customer watching this episode, I apologize for that assumption. They didn't scoff at the price of the maple. It was not an issue that I didn't have. I don't have cords or sell cords. I think this household burns for pleasure, wanting the fireplace in the background for ambiance. And again, I could be wrong, but the delivery fee on this is $60. It's not in my neighborhood. It's on the outskirts, and in fact, I think it's in the next county over. And the fee was not a factor. So there's that. Similarly with my sauna guy, and I'm sorry, sauna guy, if you're watching, not necessarily money is a factor, but this specific group of buyers, firewood buyers, not necessarily money is a factor, is whatever then reason, they're willing to spend the money on something that is quality. They don't want the fungus, they want the mold, they don't want things that's not going to burn. It's going to be seasoned wood, it's going to be dry, and they want it to be lit and go. My sauna guy, he knows that he can come and buy 2 racks from me of my premium maple, and he knows that I will measure it, each stick, to make sure that it is going to be 16 inches or shorter, so it fits in this small little sauna stove, and he buys it every few weeks or so from me, and he knows that he can get quality wood that's going to burn nice and hot for his sauna, versus going to the local gas station and buying 5 sticks of wood for $6, $7, $8, whatever it is, and that's not going to get him the hot heat that he needs. So it's dependability, people knowing that when they come to my firewood stand or they ping me for something specific, like the premium hardwood, that they know that they're going to get something that what they ordered, and not something on Marketplace or offer yeah, it's seasoned wood a cord, and they get there and it's gnarly, it's wet, it's green, it's shy of what they ordered, shy of the third of a cord or the half cord or full cord of wood. It's not reliable, and I feel that that's one service that that people in that category depend on me being reliable on what I'm selling and what they are receiving. So that's one specific group there. All right, so I am back from that delivery. I did not film the driving or the offloading. I think I'm gonna probably stop filming the offload. But that was an example of selling a specific amount of wood, specific type of wood to a specific customer, kind of like a custom order, which I'm okay with. The cage is empty. It's still in the truck though, because I think I may have more deliveries soon. I just wanted to point out, we work hard when we do firewood, and I urge you all to stay hydrated. You saw me earlier in the episode drinking from a water bottle of sorts. Anyway, working and living in Africa for so long, I can't drink straight water. I drank straight water for so many years there, and I'm over it. So if I can add some flavoring to it, that's when I'm more apt to drink. I like this brand that came out, this LMNT brand, where it's like a packet of powder and you put in water. I really like it, so I reached out to them. I like them, so I wanted to highlight them on the channel, and for that they sent me like a free sample pack, which is super cool, and a sticker in here. So I want to thank them for sending me the sample pack, and check them out if you haven't already. I'm not sponsored yet by them, just wanted to say thank you. So anyway, back to the episode. That's one example of one of my customer base, people who buy from me wanting specialty orders, specialty wood, and they are okay with the price point of delivery and with the firewood costs. Now, another type of buyer, sorry I had a phone call. What was I? Yeah, I'm talking about. So another one of my customers. Sorry, it's dark outside and have a light on. Another one of my customers want a cord. They want cords of wood, but they simply can't afford it, which is where my chunks of cedar and the cottonwood blocks come into play. Yes, I am very aware that cedar and cottonwood are not ideal firewood. Okay, I get that. It's not, but it's firewood. All wood burns, and this will create heat. Yes, and I will educate the buyer to a certain point. I will say most people have access to internet, or going to the local library and using the computers there, or tapping to a local library's internet, or going to the local cafe, Starbucks. Anyway, access to Wi-Fi internet is widely available, at least in the US. My point is people can look it up on Google or whatever browser you can think of. What is the best firewood? Does cedar burn good? Is cottonwood a good firewood? They can look that up. I'm not going to do that for them. If they ask, is X species a good firewood? I'll say it burns. Okay, I'm not lying to them. I'm not trying to cheat them. I'm not trying to skirt the question. All I'm saying is that this is a cheaper option, okay? One of the totes that you just saw up in my truck, one of those totes, I sell these blocks, these chunks, random chunks, different sizes of cedar for $90 a tote, a cage, plus delivery, okay? And that's one-fourth of a cord, whatever. That's what I sell it for. Could I be selling it for less? Maybe, but people do buy it. I haven't had anyone not buy the cedar for $90 because it was too much money. I've had people not buy it because they can only buy it by way of delivery. They wanted to come pick it up, which I don't do. I don't want people in my backyard. I don't want people driving a truck in my backyard to pick this up in their truck, or having a cage, having to measure it. It's just, it's for delivery only, and that's what it is. So it's for the people that can't afford a cord, or don't need a cord, or have a cord. They only need a little bit of wood or heat, and or they can't afford a full cord. When a cord is $350 plus, depending on the wood species and type, and they still can't afford that, but they can't afford a $90 plus delivery fee of cedar, this stuff here, they can't afford that. Yes, the cedar is going to burn fairly quick, fairly fast, but it's heat for them. it's cheap for them, and it's cheaper than paying the local power bill or gas bill. I mean, that's just, it's an option, okay? So for some people, so one of my demographics would be people who are on a budget. People are on a budget. Now, with this wood too, with the cages, I do sell cookies, which is going to be softwood, and that's going to be for like 110, I believe, a cage. And so that would be a little better wood in terms of the BTUs, but not exactly firewood, not 16-inch lengths type thing that I usually would sell. So that's what. So on the opposite spectrum, I guess you could argue that I am selling to a customer who's on a budget, and that's what they can afford is this cheaper type of wood, and it's cheaper for a reason because it's not the ideal firewood. So that's one of my customer bases. Similar to the cedar, is I'm up at the firewood stand, and people, if they can't afford a $90 cage, or even a $70 cage of cottonwood blocks, they can't afford a bundle or a bag of firewood, or a $20 rack of firewood. That they can do. I have literally had people come to stand, and I come out there and greet them, and they say, "Oh, I need some firewood, but I don't have any money on me, or I only had $3." And if they seem to be a good person, or I just met them or whatever, I say, "Hey, pay me the $3. Come back on Thursday, pay me the extra $2 or $3, whatever balance that you need. Put it in the cash box and leave me a note." And 90% of the time, that happens. They don't skirt it. If they come to take wood and don't talk to me, and they don't pay the full amount, then they don't come back and pay. But if I come out and greet them and we work out a deal, most of the time they are honest and trustworthy, and they come back and pay. Because not a lot of people can afford a $5, $6, $12 bag or bundle of wood, or $20 rack of firewood. That's just not in the cards for some people. So along the lines of the tote of the cheaper, lesser quality firewood, similar to that one would be buying smaller quantities of firewood. Now, a third demographic I will share here is people who don't need or want a large quantity of firewood. They live in an apartment that has a stove, or like a mobile home, or a condo. They literally have no space for a full cord, let alone like a half a cord or a third of a cord. But a few bundles or bags of firewood that is clean and easy to transport, or they have a rack of wood. This is what they want, and that works for them. They buy a little bit at a time because of the space, because of their situation. So it's in terms of like how they live and where they live. That's another demographic or group of people who buy. AKA my customer base is people who live in apartments or smaller dwellings or space. They don't have a yard. They have no space to store firewood. If they would, then they could, but they don't. It's not how they live. Yeah. Anyway, there's no judgment there. I'm just saying is people sometimes want smaller quantities of firewood, and that's how this whole firewood stand that plays out. So that's another one of my customer bases, selling to people who want less quantity of wood, not quality, quantity of wood, and that's how I've thrived in the firewood business, at least locally, as an example. So those are my customer bases. I think that differs from a lot of YouTubers out there who sell firewood. Maybe yes or no. You let me know down in the comments. I feel what I've shared makes sense, and I feel that it's fair to say in terms of the three groups that I have here. I do like selling the smaller quantities of firewood. I think that is a good way to do it. A lot of people don't understand it, and they sell cords, and that's all they want to do, that's all they know, and that's fine. And that's fine. And people don't want to mess with the bundles or kindling. I get that. It's all different, and however you sell your wood does not impact me, and vice versa. It is what it is. I'm sharing a different perspective on how I sell wood, or how someone can sell wood and still thrive at it and still make pretty good money, honestly speaking. So yeah, I just want to share my customer base. I thought that was something that I haven't not really thought about until now, but I want to share. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Until next time, life's too short to be a prick, so be kind to one another. Rock and roll, stay safe, and keep cutting. Cheers.